Her voice doesn't match her size 12-year-old girl, shocked everyone. The theater buzzed with restless chatter as hundreds of people filled the seats for the annual Rising Stars talent showcase. Parents whispered last-minute reminders. Kids rehearsed lines under their breath, and the judges flipped through their notes, expecting that the smallest performer on the list would soon change the entire room. Backstage stood Lila Thompson, a 12-year-old girl, barely tall enough to reach the microphone stand. With her oversized hoodie, shy eyes, and soft footsteps, she blended more into the shadows than the spotlight. People often said she looked too tiny for the stage, but Lila never corrected them. She simply smiled because she knew something no one else dyed her. Voice lived far bigger than her frame. But tonight wasn't about proving anything. Tonight was about her mother. Lila clutched the little silver bracelet on her wrist, the one her mom had given her before leaving for the hospital months ago. Sing with kindness. Her mother had whispered not to impress people, but to reach them. Lila promised she would. When the announcer finally called her name, the crowd quieted more out of curiosity than interest. Some parents tilted their heads, whispering she's performing. But she looked so scared even the judges exchanged doubtful glances. One leaned forward and adjusted his glasses as if trying to confirm her age on the paper. Lila stepped into the spotlight, her fingers trembling as she adjusted the microphone. Her heart pounded loud enough she swore the audience could hear it. She scanned the rows of strangers, hundreds of faces, expecting something simple, something forgettable. She swallowed hard, then she closed her eyes. When she opened her mouth, the room froze. A voice so powerful, rich, and soul-shaking poured out of her nothing, like the fragile girl they saw on stage. Her first note echoed like something pulled from deep within her heart, carrying a weight far beyond her years. The audience collectively leaned forward, disbelief spreading like a wave. A mother in the front row grabbed her husband's hand. A judge's jaw dropped. Even the backstage crew peeked through the curtains. Lila wasn't just singing, she was reaching people, just like her mother taught her. Halfway through the second verse, something unexpected happened. Lila spotted a little boy in the audience, maybe 6 years old, sitting in a wheelchair. His head was down, his face pale, his hands gripping the armrests. His mother gently rubbed his back, trying to soothe him, but he looked lost in a storm of fear and exhaustion without breaking the rhythm. Lila shifted her gaze toward him. She didn't know his story, but she could feel something breaking inside him. Something she recognized from her own quiet battles, so she changed the way she sang, softening certain notes, lifting others, shaping her performance into something warmer, something that felt like a hand reaching out. That's when it happened. The boy slowly lifted his head. Their eyes met, and Lila sang directly to him as if the entire room had disappeared. The boy's mother covered her mouth, tears spilling over. The judges exchanged glances, now filled with awe, not because of her voice, but because of the tenderness shaping every word coming out of her. Lila reached the bridge of the song, her voice rising with a strength that defied her size. She sang of holding on, of finding light, of small sparks turning into stars. The boy, shaking slightly, gave the tiniest smile. It was barely visible, but to his mother it was everything. The entire crowd felt it too. This wasn't just a performance. It was healing. As Lila held the final note, a breathtaking, soaring sound that filled every corner of the theater, silence followed a silence so full it felt sacred. Then the entire room erupted. People shot to their feet. Applause thundered like a wave crashing forward. Some cried openly, others simply stood, frozen hands over their hearts, unsure how to react to something so unexpectedly beautiful. But Lila didn't look at the crowd, she looked only at the boy. His mother mouthed, "Thank you." And Lila smiled back, her eyes shining. The judges were speechless, their earlier doubts replaced by stunned admiration. One wiped tears before leaning into the microphone. "Lila, your voice is incredible," he said. "But your heart, that's even bigger." The spotlight warmed her face as she stepped back. She felt small, again small, but powerful in a quiet way her mother would understand backstage. People rushed to congratulate her, but Lila walked straight to the boy and his mother. They hugged her like she was part of their family. The boy whispered, barely audible, "Your song made me feel brave." Her throat tightened. "You already are," she replied later that night as she stepped outside into the cool air. Lila looked up at the sky. She wished her mom could have been there, but somehow she felt her presence like the echo of a gentle note, lingering long after the music ends. Lila whispered, "I sang with kindness, Mom," and she knew her mother would be proud, because sometimes the smallest voices carry the greatest strength, and sometimes the most powerful performances aren't about hitting notes, but about touching lives. And on that night in that theater, a tiny 12-year-old girl didn't just shock everyone. She reminded them that kindness shared through a simple song can be the loudest, most beautiful sound in the world.